Hello there, and in this video we are going to finish problem 15, which is the last video in the Intro to CAD problem sets. So let's get going. Let's take a quick look at this guy. It is a bracket of some sort, and a couple things just to remember is, first off, is the scale. Make sure you look in your instructions and make sure you have the scale set correctly. And finally, again, remember, this is orthographic projection. We have our top view, front view, right side view, and they have to be lined up exactly, and that is perfectly, not kind of, not maybe, but everything has a relationship. Everything is lined up, and if they are not, your project is wrong and you need to redo that. So let's get going. I'm going to draw in the top view the top horizontal rectangle, and we'll start there. So it's coming over to Vectorworks, and it looks like that top rectangle is 112 inches wide by 12 inches high. And it looks like the big bottom rectangle is 112 inches wide by 48 inches high. And if we come over here and look, there we go, we're all set. The first thing we're going to do, I'm going to zoom in here, is we're going to draw this circle in. And if you notice on the dimensions, the circle is 24 inches over and 24 inches up from this corner. So I'm going to show you a new couple commands here. Well, I'm going to show you one command to start. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my circle, and I'm going to draw it exactly in this bottom right corner, and you'll see what I'm doing in just a second. This circle is a diameter of 15 inches. Okay, we're going to use the move command. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to move this circle 24 over and 24 up. So we're going to come to Modify, Move, Move, and we want to go 24 inches in the X, which is horizontal. We need to go to the left, which is negative, and we need to go in the Y, we need to go up, which is positive 24 inches. So I think we have this set up correctly. I'm going to click OK, and that puts our circle exactly where we need it. So I'm going to quick pop in our center mark, and now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you another a command in addition to the move command, and it's called paste in place. So I have my circle selected, and I'm going to Control Command C to copy it. And now if I paste Control Command V, it'll offset it, and we don't want that. What I want to do is I'm going to Control Z. There's a command called paste in place, and it's going to put it exactly right on top of this guy. Now we want, if you look at the drawing, we could probably mirror this, we could copy and drag it, we could draw a line, but I'm going to show you again the move command, and we need this guy to go exactly 64 inches to the left. So we're going to come back to Modify, Move, and we don't want it to go anywhere up and down, so we're going to change that back to 0, and we want to change this to 64 inches. We click on OK, and here are two circles drawn exactly 64 inches apart, exactly where they need to be. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to draw a couple lines. We're going to draw those two center lines. Okay, and I'm going to draw one line. I'm just going to draw them anywhere. I'm going to draw it here. I'm going to draw it down like this, and then I'm going to draw another line. Let's see. I'm going to let's paste in place and move. Okay, I'm going to copy my line, Control C, and I'm going to paste in place. All right, so we have our line right there. Now I'm going to come over to Modify, Move, Move, and I want this line to go 12 inches in the other direction. There we have our two lines. Now we need to make sure that is in the right place, and it looks like, looking at the dimensions, that drawing is, or those two lines are 50 inches from the left side of the object. So I'm going to draw a line over 50 inches. Let's see, 50 inches. I'm going to draw this guy down, And now I'm just going to kind of snap this guy, just kind of drag him over, snaps in place, take care of that, and now these lines are exactly in the right spot. Now the only lines we have left are the top marks of these chamfers. I'm going to leave those for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and we're going to draw the bottom. So again, I'm going to draw the bottom rectangle, and let's see, that guy is again 112 inches wide and 12 inches tall. So I'm going to start. It's 12. So here is our piece, and I'm going to drag him straight down, holding the shift key down to lock him in place. And now we need to draw this top rectangle. I'm just going to kind of rough it in. I'll draw it just about like this. The dimensions, we do not know the dimensions of the top of this top rectangle right here. So what we need to do is we need to do a little math. This guy, the whole unit is 55 inches tall. So this rectangle right here is 55 minus 12 inches, which is the height of this. So that would be 43 inches tall. So let's come back here to Vectorworks, make sure we're close to that. Okay. Oh, I got pretty close. 44 inches. We're going to make that 43 inches. We need to drag them back into place. So now we're set. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down my two lines here, because that is their relationship, and I'm going to trim them off. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to create our chamfer, our beveled edges. And what I'm going to do is I drew this with a rectangle, and that's just fine. But now I don't need the rectangle anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decompose it, turn it into 4 lines. Because if you look over here in the Object Info palette, you'll see rectangle. Now I'm going to come up here to modify, decompose, and now it turns it into 4 lines, and that's what I want. I could actually get rid of this bottom line because it shares a line here. So now what we're going to do is we are going to make our chamfer. And again, to make the chamfer, we come to the chamfer command, and we need to figure out here. Let's take a look at this. What these lines are. And if I do a little math right here, this is 23 inches from here to here, and we have 23 inches here. So it's a 45-degree line, or 45-degree line. So both lines are 23 inches. I have it already set to go. So what we're going to do is just come over and click, click, and click, click, and here are our chamfer lines. Now I can finish off quick the top view. I'm just going to drag these guys up and snap it there. Snap this guy right here. And then I'm going to drag these up and just re-snap it right there. That guy can go right there. Now this top view, with the exception of dimensions, is completely finished. Now what we need to do is we need to put in our invisible lines, our hidden lines. So I'm going to drag these guys down, trim them off, trim. We need to turn these guys into dash lines. I'm going to use dash style 1. Let's see, come up here to project template, dash style 1, pull it over. There we go. The second one. There we go. Now I need to put in our center line, and you guys know how to do that. Again, we make our own center lines. I'm going to find the center point right here. So again, here we go. I'm going to nudge this guy down just a little bit. I'm going to mirror this guy over. We're going to select, let's Let's see. Oh, I think I picked the wrong. Let's see. I'm going to mirror him one more time. I'm going to get rid of this guy. Select him, mirror, and we're going to choose right on this guy. There we go. Remember, we group him. G. Now we have our first hidden line. I'm going to come back and I'm just going to drop a line down here just so I know where to go to. I'm going to copy this guy and drag him over, holding down the Option key, and there we have our, oh, sorry, deleted the wrong guy. So it looks like we have the top view and the front view. Now we're going to do one last view. We need our right side view. I'm going to draw this line over just so we have a baseline. Now I need to figure out how long this line is right here. Now we're looking at it from the right side view, so we're looking at it from the side. So this line is adding these 3 dimensions up. So 24, 24, 12 is 60 inches. We'll come back, and right on this line we are going to draw a 60-inch line. And now I can get rid of this line. Now I'm going to start just drawing right around. I'm going to draw up. We know the height. I'm going to grab this point. Let's see. Grab a hold of it. Okay. There we go. Now this line right here is 12 inches. If we look at the top view, that top rectangle, that's 12 inches. We come down here to this line. It's all about using your tools. We're going to grab this guy, and we have that, and then we have our last 45, which is this piece right here, this angled line. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line from here to here, and this piece is done with the exception of those last dash lines. So I'm going to come in here, and if we look on the top view, that circle here, let's look right here. These circles are going to be this dash line, and this center mark is 24 inches up from the bottom or over from this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to Vectorworks, draw a line that's 24 inches. Okay, and now I'm going to grab this guy, and I'm going to drag him and drop him right onto the end point of this guy right here. Oh, sorry. Command Z, grab him again, hold down my key to copy it, and here we go. Here is our piece. Now the only thing we have left to do before we start dimensioning is we need to make sure they're the right distance apart. So I'm going to drag these apart. Now it looks like the bottom piece and the top piece are separated by 146 inches. And so I'm going to drag this guy, and it gets snapped to the bottom. Everything is still lining up. And now this guy over here, the right side and the front view is separated by 75 inches. So I'm going to grab delete this, and now our objects are exactly where they need to be for dimensioning. So now we're just going to start dimensioning. There's nothing really fancy about this, but we're just going to start. So I'm going to start with 23. I'm going to come over here to 150, or I'm sorry, 50. Let's see over here. For these dimensions on the left, I'm going to come over here again and use the constrained chain mode. So I'm going to click here first, click here second, drag it out, click over, and I just keep dragging, and on the last dimension I double click. And now those guys are done. I'm going to change it back to single. We're going to dimension this guy like that. Here we have 64 inches right from there, and we have 24 inches right there. I think I have those dimensions. Let's do our circle. It is, as you can see, an external diametrical, so we want external diametrical. Okay, and we're going to add in our 2 times space. So that guy's done. Now let's come down here to the bottom, and we can do this. The better you get at this, the quicker you're going to be. And it doesn't take long to do these drawings when you become more skilled at them. As you can see, this drawing is not terribly complicated. It's just learning how to read the dimensions, and you're all set. Now the last thing we need to do is we need to put in our text. So we're going to do top view. Okay, I'm sort of anal retentive, so I want to have it sort of centered. Okay, I'm going to copy and drag him down. Front view. Now I'm going to drag him over. And now we're going to say right view. And let's take a look. Let's take a look at this guy. I would say that looks really close, and I think we got it. So there, if you've stuck with me, that's all 15 drawings. Hopefully these helped. If you have any questions, come and see me, and have a great afternoon.